Alan, obviously a very good point on Saturday. You've obviously watched it back again, like you always do. What was your main takeaway from that game?
So first and foremost, a point against a team you would expect to be in and around the playoffs. Who knows? We don't have a crystal ball. But to get a point against that opposition is a great start for us. So really pleased with the result. Really pleased with a lot of ingredients in the performance. The determination, the motivation. Every single player in the squad, whether they played 10 minutes, 90 minutes, or was left out, unfortunately, which is football, and I hate to do that to any player, but that's just nature of the beast, played their role. And that made me feel really good about the group I've got. Now, moving forwards with that, it puts you in a great place, because it showed me that they're on board, willing to take on board what we're trying to instill in them and build from there. So a really, really good first building block. Was the performance in terms of our play with the ball where I'd like it to be? No, but I've said it. I'm going to say it again. We're brand new. So, like I said in my interview after the game, and I will say that for a little bit of time, it's going to get boring, but I think it's an important message to say. Some of these human beings I've known for 7 weeks, let alone footballers, right? So we're getting there, and we will. So to answer your question, really good point, and I saw a lot of ingredients that give me a lot of confidence moving forwards.
And training session on Tuesday night, was it positive and off the back of that?
Yeah, really good. Listen, results always play a huge part in how the camp feels. I'm big on ignore the result to a degree. Obviously, it's important that you win football matches. But as long as we're seeing steps towards where we want to be, I'm happy. Tuesday was an excellent session. It was a long one. Boys worked very, really hard. We'll tone it down a little bit tonight, obviously leading into Saturday. But we're in a good place.
Yeah, and you probably need to be, really, because we've got Dorking, followed by Maidstone on Tuesday. But they're tough fixtures, but you go into them with confidence and with heart, don't you?
Well, a bit of a cliche here, but every game's tough. Like, I can assure you, when you look at the names of the teams in our league this year, like every single game's gonna be tough. Dorking, I think, they possibly are the favourites to win the league. I don't know. I'm not a betting man. I don't look at that, but I would assume they'd be one of the favourites to win the league. They're a squad that have been together. So I'm backing up what I'm saying now, but they're a squad that have been together for a long, long time. I believe in their starting lineup on Saturday, there was one new player from last season. So that shows where they are as a football club. Fantastic record of promotions over the last. I think they've got, almost a promotion every other year since Mark took over. So almost. So that's incredible success there. So that's what we're up against. But these are the games, man. Do you know what I mean? So we're going into it with, confidence from the result on Saturday, but also understanding and respecting that we're up against a very, very good team at this level. But that's why we play football. And we don't fear anyone. We can go out there and we're going to try and get a result, and we'll come up with a game plan to do so.
And obviously you mentioned Mark White there. Obviously he won't be on the touchline, so it might be a bit quieter than it normally is with you two. I can imagine it's quite an interesting on the sidelines. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna obviously want to continue, what they've been doing over recent years. But when you say about new players, new squad, what is the message to the players that you're working with again and again continuously? What is your message to them before a big game like this, essentially?
Well, we have messages to them along our path from the moment we come back to now. And in football, sometimes you have to move the goalpost somewhat to fit your group of players. Now, we've done an incredible amount of research in the players we've brought in, but when you get them in front of you and you start learning them as human beings and you've really got the eyes on them in training, they surprise you in areas in a really pleasant way. You go, okay, that's really, really good. And then there's other things that you see that you go, oh, So you have to sometimes adapt your plan to fit the personnel you have. So that's us as coaches, that's us as a staff to fit the best formula for our players to get the best out of them. So that's that. But the message going into the game on Saturday is, people always say to me, football, enjoy it. well, the best way to enjoy a game of football is to win it. So enjoy doing the things that can bring you success. Competing, hard work, the list is a long one, right? But ultimately, to enjoy football, you need to win. So we're looking forward to it. We'll be tuned in, we'll be focused, and we'll give it our best shot.
Just a quick question. Obviously, this was the first competitive game where you had 7 players on the bench.
Yeah.
You also had 5, previous seasons. Does that just give you an extra dimension and obviously more options? But obviously, probably makes your job a little bit harder, does it? More interesting, should I say?
I mean, look, what is a really good thing is it definitely gives you more options. Like I said, we had 5 last year, 7 now. The game of football is changing, and I feel, years ago, if you was brought off at half time, we're talking years ago now, if you was brought off at half time, it's almost like, I've had a really bad game, that's almost an insult. But with 7 on the bench and you can name 5 to come on the pitch now, it's almost like you can play games of football within games. You can change a whole formation, a whole tactical plan in the game with personnel changes. So it's not the case anymore. I'm obviously going back a little while now, but when Mourinho was at Chelsea, he would sometimes drag someone on after 25 minutes. And you think, that's a bit harsh, but there's a game plan there, right? And with the amount of subs you can do now, it does help with that game plan for sure. So it's a very, Saturday was an extremely tactical game. We changed formation 3 times. So you might have seen all the lads coming over and had the little tactics board out. So we changed formation 3 times to try and counteract what Salisbury were doing. So it's a very tactical game. And the subs just allow you to be a little bit more flexible with that.
And obviously it was a sunny day, obviously a point or success on the pitch counts, but it was a really good atmosphere on Saturday, wasn't it? How important will
It was excellent, Seb, to be fair. It was really good. It was really good, and I love that feel here when the crowd are like that and everyone's in that mood. It's a class place to be. And I listen. It goes hand in hand. We want to give them something to cheer about. But I said it before the first game, and I'll continually say it. We are up against some top outfits this season. We're going to need every ounce of support. And sometimes things might be negative and we go 1-0 down or something goes against us. That's the game. We have to enjoy them moments and support each other and be positive about it and fight for every single point we try to achieve this year. So again, the message to the crowd is be positive, be behind us, and it's really appreciated from every single one of us. So thank you.
And finally, obviously it's been, the pictures, we put some pictures up on social, but also it's been really hot this week, and you said you put the players through it on Tuesday. It's going to be hot again tonight. It's also going to be very hot at the weekend. Does that fact come into your sort of consideration, or is it they are fit enough to deal with that now? But because 28, 27 degrees is quite hot to play a game of football.
Well, on your social media thing, I've got to give a little mention to James, who's standing behind the camera. He's excellent at what he does, and the boys love it. So I didn't care too much about that when I was younger when I played, but the lads these days they love all that, don't they? So well done to James, because he's really good at that. Dropped you in there, mate. But listen, you have to take into account the environment you're going into, right? What pitch is it? What stadium is it? Where is it? What's the weather going to be like? All these factors, of course, they play a key. So we look into all that kind of stuff, and we come up with a plan, and we hope that plan works.